And according to our next guest, it will also be a win for Youngkin and his rallying cry for Republicans in next year's midterms. He wrote, quote, Youngkin is showing the way for 2022 Republicans. Joining us now is the author of that, Terry Schilling, who is also the president of the American Principles Project, which is running ads in the state. Terry, good to see you. Let me ask you this question. Let's say Glenn Youngkin wins tonight and a potential Republican candidate calls you and says, hey, I'm thinking of running for office next year. What advice, based on what's happened in this campaign, would you give them?
I would give them the advice that they need to run on a pro-family platform. Sean, thanks so much for having me. I think that this whole election tonight, the results have the potential to set in motion something that's even bigger than the Tea Party, and that's a family party. That's a movement for families to empower parents to take back their kids' education, make the schools better, get this garbage out of the classrooms, this critical race theory, this transgenderism stuff, this 1619 fake news history, and start replacing it with stuff that's really good, with stuff that kids should learn. I think it's a huge wave year coming up, especially if Glenn Youngkin wins tonight, and it's going to be fueled by parents and families across the country.
Terry, let me ask you about that, because education did become such a hot topic because of Terry McAuliffe's words there, saying that parents shouldn't be a stakeholder in their kids' education. But he wouldn't have said that. Would education have been such a hot topic specifically for this campaign?
No, exactly. And this is what people miss is, look, basically, Terry McAuliffe threw gasoline on the fire. This was already outrage. I mean, this was already going. Parents across the state of Virginia and across the country, by the way, were showing up in droves at their local school board meetings, letting their voices be heard, letting them know that they were upset about this gender ideology, this critical race theory, and this 1619 garbage history that was being taught in schools. And they were being shut down here in Virginia, especially in Loudoun County, by these out-of-control Democrats. And when Terry McAuliffe said those remarks about not wanting parents to tell schools what to teach, it just exploded. It was like a nuclear bomb. And, you're seeing this huge wave, this avalanche.
But here's the point, I think, to kind of follow up on what Lindsay's saying. If McAuliffe hadn't said that, if Youngkin was just talking about education, right, and saying, CRT is a problem, some of the 1619 is a problem, education should be a bigger issue, and McAuliffe hadn't stepped in it, I don't think this would be the same issue it is today. Terry McAuliffe's gaffe made this an issue, right? You wouldn't have the ads
100%.
that you have now. And so if I'm a candidate out there after tonight, I have to be careful about the lesson I take here, because unless your opponent is dumb enough to say what Terry McAuliffe said, then I don't think you necessarily can use the same issue in the same way.
No, you have to go on offense in different ways. You have to get more into the specifics, right? You have to attack your opponent. Get them to come out. Do you support critical race theory being taught in schools? Do you think that kids should judge their peers by their skin color? Do you believe that men can have babies? Do you believe that we should be teaching young children to change their gender? Do you think that America was founded in 1776? Or do you think it was founded in 1619, like the New York Times says, when the first slaves came to the English colonies? What do you actually believe should be taught in schools? And by the way, are you going to keep our kids in masks this whole time? Are you going to force a vaccine mandate? Make this all about the kids. Make this all about the families, and you're going to have a really great time and a really successful campaign.
All right. Terry, thank you for sharing that insight. Hopefully we have a really great night and a lot of people call you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.